Hi everybody, glad you could join me today. Today we're going to be painting something like a farmy kind of look. We've got some flowers, milk can, a bow, and it's on a black canvas. So you can either purchase a black canvas or you could gesso a black canvas. I gessoed this one. So we're going to do this. We're going to put some white. We're going to start out getting white down on here. I've transferred the actual photo here, and I will put that up on Patreon where you can purchase that for $1. So if you become a patron, you get the traceable. There's other little perks on there that I'm actually going to start putting some extra ones up. I haven't gotten to it. I've been really busy with things. With YouTube, I'm doing parties, and it's just been a lot of things going on. So, but if you do become a patron, there are some little gifts that you can get for higher amounts besides the tracing. So, check it out. Mary, Pittsburgh Artist on Patreon. All right, that's my little spiel for today. I'll be right back. So this is just going to be some titanium white. I'm going to use some Winsor Newton Galleria paint. If it comes out, if I have enough in here. Oh, yeah. Ooh, you hear that? Yeah, it's almost gone. And I'm going to start out with my filbert. Just a number, I don't see a number on here anymore. Oh, number 4. This is a Utrecht brush. I've had this for quite some time, and it's very durable. So, all right. So we're just going to be painting. We're not going to paint the bow. We're going to paint the flowers and the can here, and leave the button areas open. Now what I did for the tracing that you get, I did these little dotted lines because that's where these things fit. So, let's see here now. So you can leave that a little bit open. Oh boy, getting lots of messages there. My lady friend. You could also use white gesso for this if you like. I'm just using white paint. This is kind of nice because this filbert kind of gets in those little round areas that you need to paint. This paint is going a long, long way. Okay, I'm going to grab a little bit more. As I get closer or into these smaller areas, I just want to be more accurate. If possible. I'll notice that I'm leaving some areas here with shining the black because I want that to come through on these little petals and stuff. Because that'll kind of give it some dimension. That's kind of why I have the little lines, you know, dotted. Because you don't want to get too close to the other petal. Notice this one here be coming down. Okay. Okay, so I'm almost getting there with this. It's a little hard for me reaching up here. I'm not used to painting upward or high. And I'm trying to paint so you can see it. So, oops, hopefully you are able to see what I'm doing without my hand being in the way so much. I'd really like to move the camera so it's like at an angle from this point. But I don't know how that will work. I have to see if I can get it to do that. I might have to get a different kind of an arm for my camera to sit on, you know. I just love the way this sounds, don't you? It sounds so cool when you're hitting it. Maybe I need to step over a little bit. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Now, normally when you're painting flowers like this, you would start from, I'm going to turn this a bit. You should start from the end and bring it in like this. Okay, hold on. All right, so let's see. All right, so we're gonna get the rest of this white in. I'm gonna put out my My palette's a little messy. I'm going to see it actually. Because I was using it for something else. So I'm going to put my white on this paper plate here. Okay, let's get this filled in. I'm going to use this beat up brush here for this, so I can get in nice and close to these little areas here. Areas that I kind of missed here before. I think you can see me better. I have arranged my camera a little bit differently. Hopefully you can see better. I don't know. Okay. And there's some flowers in this area here too, so I don't have to reach up so high. So we are painting on this black canvas. Make sure you get your sides. And just, you know, like leave some spaces here. You want to leave those spaces for the black to kind of show through when you start to put your florals together. Let's see, I missed some swatches here. I want to make sure I get it all. Sometimes you just need another coat to make sure you get it covered. Okay. Those dotted lines that I have, like I said, on this print, you will, that's like an overlap, so you just want to make sure that your overlaps are, that you are leaving some space in there. This is probably the hardest part right here. Just gonna bring that up a bit. filled in. Alright, so now we got to do the, this part here. So we want to get that done. Put that in the thing. And we're going to make all this white. We don't want to color this. We just, in the bow, we want to leave black right now. So I'm going to get a little bit, slightly larger brush. Let's see. Let me see here. I think a 3/4 would work. So I'm going to get this one here. This is a social artworking brush. I think this will work very well. Smooth some of this out here. Kind of get this way with this. Got it. This is probably going to get another coat. Oh, I don't want that. Oh yeah, I did. Sorry. Okay. This section also. This is the bow right here. So we're going to get this section. Actually may have made this just a little bit too much here. So while it's wet, I'm going to get that off of there. think I need a smaller brush. It's a little bit too big there. Okay, let's try this one here. This one is the number 6. It's an artist loft. I think this will get into those areas that I need to get into. Right in here. Right in here. Handle. Still smaller yet. Smaller area. And maybe I'll get a little round brush in order to get in there. This is a, doesn't say, buttercream it's called. Let's see if I can get into these little areas here with this. And here. There's a little nub right there. Yeah, this is working out good. Don't be afraid to try different brushes to get your look that you're looking for. It's alright, it's okay to do that. If it helps you to do that, that's what you want. Right in here, so lightly I'm going in here, very carefully. Carefully. All right. Now, let's see here. So we're going into here. I think I can use my larger brush now. Probably around these floral things, it won't be as easy. I'll have to use a different brush in order to do that. Get that close, you know. Just be very careful when you're doing this. Very careful. I'm switching now to my round because we want to get these areas here. Okay. Right here. Right in here. Here. Oh boy, that's going to be a tight one there. Get it close here. can actually be careful I don't take off the gesso here, because I did down here, but I think we'll just be painting that anyway, so okay. Alright, I think we have that all done the way we want it for now, and I'm not very good with lines, so hopefully that's straight, but we can always paint over that. Alright, so that's that. Now we have to wait for that to dry a little bit, and then we're going to move on to the background here. We want to get that nice. So that is like black, and I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to add a little blue to the black, but you can add some white to it, however you want. I'm just going to grab my black here. Let's see. I'm going to make it like a nice gray. I'm going to grab some of this too that was here. And this here is the perfect brush for that, excuse me, background. And we're just going to kind of like go very lightly with this. Okay, because we want it to resemble wood. And you want to kind of leave a line in between the wood pieces, just like as if it was open there. This is going to be a little larger, this piece here. A little too heavy there. It's okay if you go over your leaf a little bit, just to get that right. Same here, if you go over your flower a little bit, it's okay. We can always go over that with white again. another wood piece here. Through on all these areas that are open. Too. This is all wood back here, so we want that to show like wood. Okay, now I'm just going to go in my black because I want to add a little bit of dark here, so where it kind of laid on a little thicker than I expected. Maybe that just needs to dry a smidgen. Let's see here. I'd like to put a couple knots in there. Did you ever do that? Put some knotted pine things in. Let's see if we can do that too. That'll be fun. So I'm going to get my little brush. Well, maybe I better use the round one for that. Use the round one. Okay, I'm going to get some black on my round brush. And sometimes you just kind of like, okay. Gotta draw like a little line here. Can you see what I'm doing here? Little knot. Doesn't have to be huge. Just a tad. Oops. Put that there. And you kind of just put a little dark spot here. So it looks like there's a little knot. Okay, I'm going to get my flat little brush here and go into my white and get some of that back in there again. Right here. I want that to be a little bit whiter. I don't think I went anywhere else with it. Just want to make sure it's white. Wow, that was a lot of paint on my brush there. Because this is going to be yellow, so you want that to... Alright, let's see here. I want to get all that off of there. So what we're going to do here, I want to get these flower parts in. Right here. I want to get that in there. And I have oxide green here. Chromium oxide green. Okay. I'm going to put this on my lovely looking palette here. And we don't need a lot on our paint here in our paint. So I just wanted you to see there's no mixture of anything. We're just going to use a round brush, maybe a little white in here. Let's see here. Ooh. Mix it up a little bit. Well, there's no white coming out. So let's see about this one. Just need a little tad there. All right, so I'm going to mix let's see here. I'm going to mix about 1 to 1 here. Maybe some yellow also. Yellow. Little yellow here, which I think I have in my wet palette here. So I'm just going to grab some of this, put some of that in there. Make just kind of like a nice, I don't know if you could see that, kind of greenish yellow. And we're going to get this in here. Just come down on this with this brush. This is a number 2 round brush. Green, I'm just putting this on this leaf here. Here. Okay, and then there's also another one right here. Kind of gets covered up a little bit by the flower. But now we can just kind of go right up to that flower. And I'm going to just go right into the oxide here. Make it a little darker here. Kind of shadow it out a little bit. Let this dry a smidge. Straight into the oxide here. To separate those. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to this green. I want that a little lighter. Right in here. Just to kind of show that depth. So that when I do put those veins in there, you'll be able to see them better. But it's always good to get those shadows in too, see? Alright, so there's a couple little places where we have leaves that are showing. Right here, there's a couple little pieces of leaves. So I'm just going to get those in too. Nothing fancy, just a couple sleeves that I wanted to point out. And up here, there's some right here. Just little dabbles here. Almost looks like a little star there, but they're just little buds. You can put one in here too if you want. Just kind of tapping it in, nothing fancy. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's let this dry a little bit. Put it in a little bit better. Kind of have to dimensionalize it a little. There we go. All right. Okay. Oh, that little doggone way that photo gets in there. All right, so let's go on to our we got those stems. We'll come back to that with a little bit of dark. And I think what I want to do is go into the flowers now. So I'm going to mix a little bit of the yellow, but I want to change out my brush. I want to get to my number 2 flat. You can see some areas that need to be fixed. Okay, that's number 1. Get this in. And right under here, we're going to just get a little touch of this here because it's underneath that. Just right here. There's part of that flower that just is underneath the stem there. Okay, let's get that a little smoother. A little smoother. I'm going to add a little water to this because it is thick. My yellow, I think that's a bit thick here. Let's get some more of that in here. A little white, mix up some more. Okay. Just wipe that to make it smooth. Add a little bit more here. Got to get my twinkle lights on. Just gonna alright. And I'm going to smooth that with a little brush here that I have. I want to Make sure this is nice and smooth. All right. Smooth that out a bit. Just lightly going over that with this brush. It's warm in my house, my little art room today. How about I move this so you can see it better? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Plus I can paint it better too. So this is like a deep yellow that I'm using. So usually, you know, like I haven't been really putting up the colors, but because you can use any kind of paint that you like. If you want to use like lighter yellow, by all means, you know, use it. Then you wouldn't have to mix it. But I usually put white into yellow because of the transparency. Yellow is very transparent. That's part of this flower right here, petal. Okay, that looks nice. And even if that texture's there, you know what, that just gives it a little added push. Get that a little bit better. It makes it look more realistic, you know. All right. So when I put this pattern up on my Patreon site, just know that this petal up here might not be there. So you may have to just kind of draw that in for yourself. And that's not a big deal. Seriously, you can do that, no problem. It's not that hard to do these petals. They just are rounded. You can make them big or small, but because that's at the top, it's more of a smaller petal. So you want to make sure you kind of get that petal small. yellow. All right. And if you don't have as much paint on your brush, you won't get as much texture. So what I want to do before I go any further is to get some chrome orange out. I do have chrome orange, so let me find that. That is important to this painting. And this chrome orange is a social artworking chrome orange. And this is what it looks like. So I'm going to put that out on my palette here. Okay, because I'm going to go into that a little bit. Try to get some of those little areas where, you know, there's overlap. Like here. Kind of brush that lightly through my painting. Get some of that. And try to go like how your petals are, because that's important. You want to go like how your petals are. So if they're going straight up, make sure your chrome orange is going straight up. If they're bending, make sure you're bending your petal, your orange. If they're overlapping each other, try to get like here. See how that's overlapping? Just try to get a little bit there and then pull it out. Like that. And bring it down. That looks so nice. Okay. Even if it is upside down. That just gives it a little extra pizzazz. Now see here, we want to kind of get a little bit more in here. It shows that that's kind of a little bit of a overlap there. I'm just wiping that off because I'm going to go into my yellow, kind of bring that back in. Like that. So if you get a little too much on, you can just bring it back in with some yellow. Okay. But this is very light, very light. Not a hard push on it. That's a shadowy thing here, so I want that shadow. Oop. Okay, so that must be still wet underneath there a little bit. Okay, let's see here. Can we get that? little bit of a shadow. May have to go over that with a little white. Not good here. We'll fix that. Just go over it with some white. Sometimes paint will pull up if it's not dry. We'll come back. Now, because this petal is underneath there, we want to kind of get that also. This one here, you see that? Kind of just make that a bit, because it is underneath this one. So we're just kind of like making that a bit underneath. And that's okay, because we're going to fix that up too. And this right here is a little bit of a shadow also. So we're going to get some yellow, mix that with this, kind of just get that a little bit better. Put some yellow in here too. Just kind of making it like an orange yellow kind of thing. Yeah, that looks cool. I like it. Okay. Very nice. All right, and here, over here. And you don't have to go out as far as I'm doing here. I'm just going to rinse that up so I don't get the orange in my yellow. But yeah, that's about right, the way it goes. Okay. As I touch, you want to kind of keep it. This one's a little weird the way it's shaped. Just kind of smoothing it out a little. So I'm going to get these ones here, little petals there. I might have to turn this a little bit. Just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going from the outside in on this one. It's just kind of normally how I would do this, but from the outside in, it just kind of makes it a little bit better. I would probably use a bigger round brush. I don't have one, so I'll have to make do with what I have here. It just kind of smooths it better. You can kind of do that. All right, I'm going to get some of that orange in there now. This is a great orange, but I wouldn't use this as a base paint. You want to use something a little thicker. Because I'm painting over this, it's not so bad. Okay, so I'm just going to put a couple little strokes on this. Yeah, because it's a thinner paint. So thin will stick pretty good to thick. This is really amazing how nice this looks. Mixing a little bit more yellow. Guys. Yeah, that's good. I guess I better get a little water on this because it's a little thick. Hard to blend when it gets like that. And it also will lift off easier. But you want some of those shadows to pull through like that because it just kind of makes it look really awesome. I'm gonna get this here. Okay. You want to kind of get them from the center of this flower. Okay, rinse this out a bit. Now you can paint your petals whatever method you like. I'm just showing the way I would do this, but if you want to paint them from the outside out, inside out, or from the outside in, you do however you feel most comfortable. That's the purpose of learning to paint. You learn what is more comfortable. Same with brushes. If you don't like this brush that I'm using, I mean, you don't have to use a small brush. You can use a larger brush as long as you have control. I just chose to pick this one for no particular reason. I just thought it would help me get into these areas where the petals are and things. Now, right in here, there's going to be some orange. I'm going to watch that I don't pull things up. All right. And right here, I want to make another little line of orange. Not sure if you can hear the guys practicing, but these are all original songs, so there is no copyright issue on them yet. They are just practicing, trying to get the music down a little bit. And you just take your time with this. There's no rushing for this. It's all just take your time. Take your time. Alright, so right here, I'm going to divide this a little bit. This will be like a little darker through here. And bringing that out a little bit more. And grabbing some yellow, bring it in a little bit so it looks just more shaded than anything. Get some orange here. Bring it out. Awesome. Okay. Also, let's get these little petals. Still not liking this right here, so we gotta work on that some. All right, we'll fix that. One nice thing about acrylic is the drying factor of it. It does dry fast. want to get a little bit in here, the shadow. We'll get some right here. That's a shadow. And we'll get our yellow back in there too. Anything that overlaps like that, you want to get that shadow in. It's very important. That needs a little work. Oh, I got a couple more. Okay, let's see here now. We can just kind of blend that in a little bit more. Get this to dry. Oops. And then we can work with it. Get right here. Okay. I mean, it doesn't need to be a big, huge shadow, but we want to get like something in there that looks decent. That's why I kind of use this flat brush, because that way you can get that edge in there just a tad, an edge. Okay. All right, let's get some more here. Thinking just about how that would look here. It's going to be lighter, kind of against that dark. Be the same. Same here, because that's underneath, but we're going to make this actually too a little bit darker. Certain ones are going to be a little darker on certain places. And because that's underneath, it has to be dark. I'm still getting this to come through, so I'll probably have to work on that some more. Just the way it is, you know, just can do that, I guess. Let's see here. Now this one too has to be somewhat darker here because that's where they matched up. So let's pull that. It's going to be darker there. This petal underneath here, that's got to be darker also. It's underneath, so I'm going to give it a little bit more oomph. Okay, and this one also, because it's underneath, right over here, it can be a little darker. Kind of lighter in shade. Awesome. Okay, so let me go to my green now, and I'm going to go into my little round brush that I had. If I can find where I put that. Well, let's go into this one here. This is I don't know, number 1, I think. Okay, I'm going to go into that Hooker's green, or that oxide green. And I am going to put these in. Okay, so we want to kind of get these in there. And I probably should get this a little wet because of the warmth in my studio. And just a little bit of an indication that there are these little things here. All right, that looks really nice right now. Okay, so what's the next step? Let's see here. Let's just, you know what I'd like to do? All right, well, so we did the second shading, we did all that. I think we did pretty good on that. And then now, you know what, I'd like to maybe get some yellow in that floral part. I mean, in that leaf part. I'm not sure how this will work here. Let's see. Just to kind of spruce it up a bit. No, maybe not. It might not be right. Let me get the regular yellow. See if that helps. Because it's just a little too dark. Yeah. Alright, we're just going to keep it. Just a little. I don't want to put too much in here because I just want to kind of indicate that there are these great little pieces of green. So let's see here. I might mix that up there a little on the leaf. Just a little indication of it being a little lighter. And I think that looks good. So, ooh, oopsies. Oh man, I must have had orange on my hand. Well, we don't like that. Not a good sign. Let me wipe it off with some water. Hopefully it'll come off. It's a little stuck on there. This one must have done this in a little earlier. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to paint this this bow here, and also I'm going to come in with some of that gray that I had, because right here I missed that. So let me get my brush here. I'm going to mix a little white, a little gray, split up my hairs a bit, get some more white. Okay, just kind of come in here with that gray and white mixture. Since I kind of went there, then I can also go over some of this other to kind of bring it out a little bit more. Oops. Don't want to mess this up. Okay. My brush strokes kind of ended here. We don't want that. Okay. So I want to get that black. I want to get that nice and black. So I'm going to go into my black and make sure this is nice and dark. So there's some more of that. I see more right in here. You have to get that right here. We're going to go over probably over that can a little bit better too, because it just doesn't look so great, does it? I'm going to get some tape. This tape is really, really good, and it's a 3M automotive performance tape. And I got this off of Amazon. A bit expensive to some people, but I'm going to tell you what, it is the best for making straight lines because it sticks. It absolutely sticks. And we want this nice and straight. Well, I'm painting that. And I could probably use a larger brush, but I'm going to continue to use this smaller one. Just because I can get into the areas that I need to have covered. Better. Nice sharp bow. probably what's going to happen, well, I kind of like that bow being a little bigger. I must have orange down in there. Oops. Actually, this could come down this way a bit. You see that's still wet? That's kind of interesting from yesterday. I did this, you know, waiting for it to dry. I am surprised that it's still wet. Still wet. Interesting. All right, let's get this. Get this all colored in, nice and dark. I think everybody's thirsty downstairs. Okay. Now, if you're having a hard time seeing where the black ends because you have your, you can see by where it's wet, it's shiny. And this helps to give you a little bit more idea, like where you painted. I can see that I didn't get real close with that white there either, so I got the, okay, let's get this off. Oh, I must have not done that right. Okay, there, it's a little bit better. I don't want to cover up all my white, my white spots, but that's alright because I can always trace over it again. And I want to get that little bit of gray again. I'm using a different brush here just to get in here. Trying to get that a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so we're going to let this dry because that white's still not dry for some reason. I don't know why. We'll let this dry, and we're going to come back to do the other part here. I mean, we have to get that can a little bit better. I want to get that a little bit better. So what happens here is this is going to turn like a brown shade, but the fact that I did that again, I think that looks much better. And I want to go over that white again with a little bit better than I did it here. If I have to use a white gesso, that's what I'm going to do, because I don't like the way this looks right now. Let's see, let me get my little angle brush here. I want to see something. If I can put my tape on these areas where I need to have a nice line here. Like here. That needs to be a little darker here. So I'm just getting this little angle brush, kind of just going in here, not real. Almost just like that. Okay, right here too. I want to get that one. That's okay if it like kind of feathers up, that's fine. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, I'm gonna get this a little bit better. Okay, let's see here. Just to get that straightness in there, because this is all important parts here. These mean things. Now this one looks pretty good here. These are just little things that like happen when you're painting. Okay, there we go. Just a little bit better. You kind of just want those to show up more, you know. I missed all total. What's wrong with you? How? Okay, so we're going to finish up our little picture today. It almost blends in with my background, doesn't it? I'm going to just put my little lights on here so I can have a little bit of ambience. As you can see, this is my palette. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get some more white. I want to kind of go over this a little bit better so it's not so, so streaky. So I'm going to add a little bit more white to my, ooh, as you can see, I'm starting to run out here, but I have another one. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a softer brush. So this is a social artworking brush. Now, I'll probably, around some of these edges, I will use a different brush. And I know you can't see my palette. So this is my Aki palette right here. Put that off to the side. Where my shades are. For now, I'm just using the white. So let's see here. We can, and you know what? I want to get some tape just to even this up here. And this is that really good stuff. So I may end up having to, well, you know what? I might just do this. Add a little black to this again. Just to straighten that out a bit. I'm just going to press that down a little bit there and get some black. And I'm just using my number 2 brush here. But I definitely want that to be nice and straight. Of course, this is going to be a different shade anyways, but look at how nice and crisp that is. Put that in my water. Well, I just want to clean that off. Don't want to keep your brushes in water. All right, so what I'll do, let's see here, I'm going to come in here. Another piece of this tape right here so that we get a nice straight edge. And you may have to do that. You may end up having to get a straight edge the way I'm trying to do this. Because it's real hard to do that, you know. Getting that straight edge really nice and neat. I could have probably come down a little bit more here with that. And I think with the second coat of white, it really is helping to get some of those brush strokes out of there. And that's what we want. We don't want to see those brush strokes if we can help it. In those areas that are a little tight, I will go back in with a smaller brush. Just being very, very careful here. Very careful. Okay, I'm going to put this here. how you can see the straightness of some of this too. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to just go across here. And then I'm going to stick my black back in that again, because it's not quite straight enough. Okay. Oops. Taking it very slow, very slowly. Oh, that's okay, because that's going to be another shade anyways, but I just want to kind of make sure it's straight and nice, clean. There we go. Right in here also, where the bow hits. Look at how nice and clean that is. Very nice. Okay, let me get my little brush again with some black. Touch-ups. Very close. Little touch-ups here. Okay, good job there. All right, let's get that rinsed out again. Okay, let's see here now. All right, so I'm going to hit that with a smaller brush here. Let me see here if I can get this nice and clean. If you push it, press it down really good, it shouldn't leak. Let's see. Because of that tape, it's really good stuff. Gonna get another small brush here. Let's see. Okay. I don't know what size this is. It's pretty small because everything got kind of washed away from it. And that's probably not the one I'm going to be really using too much of. Okay. We'll go up here, this part. And I'm actually going to get another piece of tape. We're going to be using these over again because this is really not straight here, which I don't like. I want to get that straight. We're going to go in there with some black. Let's get a small, nice, let me see if I can find a better one here. really not an expensive little brush, but it is a Royal brush, soft grip number 10 Royal. I'm going to see if I can get in some of those little crevices there with this. We're going to come back with some black again with this. Okay. Take this off. Oh, that's so much better. So much better. Alright, let that dry a little bit. I don't know about you, but I like sharp edges. That's just, I prefer sharp edges. And sometimes you just have to use some tape. It just, that's the way it is. There's nothing wrong with using tape. Whatever tape you like or prefer, that's up to you, you know. It's your preference. Alright, so let's get this part. Get this tape down here. Might not stick if it's still damp. Alright, let's see here now. Get this. This to go here, well, right here, and get it to stick. This little piece right here. Okay. Still using that little brush, strengthening my edge here. And put that into the water, clean it. Paper towel here and wet it so that I can wipe some of that off if I need to. Some of these areas are a little hard to get to, so then I'm going to have to go in with my little brush. Okay, I'm going back in with my number 2, Simply Simmons flat. So much better. All right. All right. Okay, so now we just want to get this little section down here. And then we'll add that black back in again. Hopefully, oh, you can't see that, I'm sorry. A little section down here. In through here a little bit. Oh yeah, that looks so much better, so much better. And I think I just want to make this a little straighter here. Right here. Get worn out, I guess. We'll just add that black in a minute. Okay, here we go here. Wipe this off here. Go onto the flower. All right. Rinse out my brushes. Okay, now I'm just gonna add, I'm gonna get another piece of tape and I'm going to get some of these black lines back in. I think they're pretty good. There's just a couple spots that need to be a little bit more adjusted. Like right here. I'm going to try to use as much as you can over again in your tape too. since it is a little bit more expensive. Okay, going into my black with my little royal brush. Don't keep it on there very long. I just want to get it off of there as quick as possible. Okay, that looks good. Okay, let's do this one. Make sure you press it down good. Let's better go this away because I got that little. And this has to be real close. I don't want the line to be too thick. Okay. All right. Ooh, that looks funny there, but it won't be. Doesn't that look much better? Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, looks good. Go to that point. And this one here, just a little bit. You have to remember too that this is round, so it's not going to be, it's going to take on a different effect too, you know. Let's see how that's, okay, that's good. Now we just have to get this bottom one here. Okay. Larger. The one thing I like about this tape too is it sticks. I don't have to worry about it not sticking. Like some tape will come off, you know. This one just stays. Just gonna put it in there a little bit. Oh, maybe I better go with this. And you get nice crisp lines. That's another thing, you know, like a lot of these tapes, you don't get those crisp lines. Crisp lines like Froggy I thought was real good until I found this. And I thought, well, yeah, this is much better. Much, much better. Let's just get this one too a little bit better. Because these are important little shadows in this thing that are needed for the yeah, that's good. Okay, good. Wash this out. Let Let me just put a little dab of white right there. That's seems to be okay. Good. Very good. I don't know if I can get a little bit around that flower. Let's see if I can tape it up right in here a little bit. My little tricks. Don't need a lot for this. There's a couple little spots here that I'd like to kind of clean up here with some black. Here, come around also. I'm just going to try to get that in there myself. And this should be more rounded. Let's see here if I can put this in by myself. Could probably just use a Posca pen, and I may go over that with a Posca pen just in that area because I'm afraid to do anything because I have that nervous hand. I don't want to mess it up. Okay. Alright, so far so good. Now, for the next steps. Oopsie. Just cleaning my brushes here. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to mix just a little bit of yellow, some oxide green, and a little white because I still want to get those highlights on the on those leaves. And I'm going to use my number 2 brush again. So I'm just going to grab some of my yellow and a little bit of oxide green here. Oxide green. And a tad of white, just a tad. Nothing too spectacular here. We don't want it to be overpowered by white. And I'm just going to kind of put these little highlights in here. So it shows up a little bit better. go. And just up here a little so we can see that little leaf up here. And one here. Just little pieces of leaves here. Okay. Just a little highlight right in there. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks much better. You can see it a little bit more. Now, I'm going to get some burnt umber, some orange, and I am going to a little bit of titanium white with this. And I'm just going to make some little strokes on our can. And I think what I'm gonna use a little bit of a round brush on this one. So, burnt umber. That would be this one. Some burnt umber. Okay, burnt umber. Chrome orange. So I would go like maybe 2 parts burnt umber, 1 part chrome orange. Mix that up. And we're going to put some of this into the centers of the flowers. So let me get my round brush, a little round brush here. And let me get, oh, here's a nice little round brush. Okay, so this is a, oh gosh, number 6 round brush. So we're just gonna kind of tap it in there into the centers. Just tapping it in. Might add a little bit more orange to that just to give it a little bit more, so you can see it a little bit more. I'm going to tap that back in there again. Maybe just at the top part, just to kind of give it that. Okay, so the bottom part we can go with a little bit darker. And we'll get the top a little bit more white. I'm going to get some more orange just to tap it on that while it's wet. Just kind of giving it a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more highlight. Going in with the dark. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm sorry. The camera is not getting the whole picture, is it? You need to have the whole picture. Going in with some of my orange straight on the top here. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go with some black just around the perimeter of those. So I'm taking my round brush and just going into the perimeter area, just kind of tapping it in, kind of giving it a little edge of depth. just around. There, nice. Kind of almost where these petals split, I'm just giving it a little extra boost here with that. Just showing that it splits there. This might have been a little much here. Just kind of like where those petals separate, and give it a little. Okay. Rinse this out. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to done now. So I'm going to get that so we're going to mix this burnt umber. Again, you know, since we have it on our palette already, I'm just going to add some white to it. I'm going to make a glaze out of this. So let me just get some of my glazing liquid. Just a little bit on my palette here. Oh, I guess I'm not going to get this open because it's too hard to open. Let's see. I can jab it a little just to pour it. I don't want to have it come out like crazy, you know. So just pour a little bit of this onto my beautiful little with the lid back onto that so it doesn't dry out. Okay. Add that to my glazing liquid. My glazing liquid to that. And we're just going to go kind of like around some of the edges here of our can. Kind of try to make it a little more dimensional looking. So let me see, maybe right around in here. See, I don't want a lot on my brush. I want to kind of like dry brush it. Up in through here a bit. Get into my glazing liquid here. Just kind of smooth that out a bit. Okay. Using my fingers. Straight into my glazing liquid, actually. Straight in. Just rubbing that, kind of like getting it to look more rounded. Just glazing over this, not going crazy. Okay, so there's a little dent in there, so I'm going to just use my finger. You can see it right here. I'll just fix that up a little. Blending it in with my finger. I mean, you don't have to do that with your finger if you don't want to, but it just makes it look so much nicer. Okay, and right here. It's almost like as if you were staining something, right? That's all this is like a stain. I just want to get it right in here like a little shadow. That looks nice. Okay. So the next part here is to do our bow. So we're going to get 4 parts of a burnt umber to a part of chrome orange and some titanium white. So let's scoop all that up. Just mix it right in that mix that we already had. Put a little orange in that. We had enough titanium white. I think we're going to be good. All right, so we're going to do the bow now. And kind of like a dry brush here. We're going to go in with our larger brush. Kind of just dry brush it. Let's see. Just kind of a light wash here. And then we actually will be putting a little bit of lighter shade here. Top. just a little darker so we can see it. When you do that dark background, it really helps to bring that kind of alive. It gives it that depth that you want, which is kind of interesting. All right, so now we're going to get a little bit more of the white. We're going to put some white in here. And just highlight areas now on this. So oh, I got some green in there. Huh. I don't know how that got in there. Don't want any green in our bow. Okay, and some in here. Oops. Oh, that looks so pretty. I love it. Just a little bit more here, maybe. A little bit more highlight there. But it really looks cute. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I want to get a, just hold on a second. I want to get a, let's see here. I can find a little marker, pasta pen. I'm not sure if this will work or not. I don't even know if I have enough in here. I'm hoping I do. To kind of get this here. Sometimes it's very hard to do. So if you have trouble with those lines around, you can actually do this. Because you kind of want that dark to be there. More definition of your flower. All right, and this here is ready for a signature. And I'm going to put that here. using my Posca pen. Let's see here, I'll put it right here, I think. And it's all finished. I think this looks so pretty. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. It was so much fun to do. I really did enjoy doing this. It really looks nice. I like it a lot. Because I went over this a little bit. Just going to darken that up a bit. Okay. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. This was so much fun. And till next time, bye. Bye.